Dear students, welcome to the next lecture of colloidal chemistry. In this lecture, we shall discuss about emulsions. An emulsion is a colloid in which both the dispersed phase and the dispersion medium are liquids. That is, it is a liquid in liquid colloid. The process of mixing the two liquids to form an emulsion is called emulsification. And this is possible by shaking the two liquids which are normally immiscible. Depending on the type of dispersed phase and dispersion medium, the general classification of emulsion is oil in water type emulsion and water in oil type emulsions. In oil in water type emulsion means the dispersed phase is oil and the dispersion medium is water. Whereas water in oil emulsion means the dispersed phase is water and the dispersion medium is oil. This is a simple representation to show oil in water emulsion and water in oil emulsion. If the yellow color represents oil and the blue color represents water, oil in water means water will be present in bulk and the molecules of oil will be scattered. And the reverse is seen in water in oil type emulsion. We can distinguish between water in oil type and oil in water type emulsions using some tests. Those are dye test, dilution test, electrical conductivity test, fluorescence test, and cobalt chloride test. First one is dye test. If we mix the emulsion with a water soluble dye and observe it under the microscope, we can identify whether it is oil in water type or water in oil type. As water soluble dye will give its color to the aqueous phase, an oil in water type emulsion will be deep colored when observed under the microscope. That is, the aqueous phase will get the color of the dye. Whereas for the water in oil type, the coloration due to the dye will be seen in small spots. Suppose we are mixing an oil soluble dye to the emulsion and observing it under the microscope. A water in oil type emulsion will show the deep color of the dye, because here oil is the dispersion medium and the medium acquires the color of the dye. The second test is the dilution test, in which the emulsion is mixed with some quantity of water. That is, it is diluted with water. If dilution readily occurs, it is oil in water type emulsion. And if we observe the added water in a separate layer, it is water in oil type emulsion. Aqueous solutions conducts electricity, whereas oil is a poor conductor of electricity. So by checking the electrical conductivity of the emulsion, we can identify whether it is water in oil type or oil in water type. So electrodes are dipped in the emulsion and electricity is conducted. If the bulb connected to the electrodes glow, it indicates that the emulsion is oil in water type. That is, water is the dispersion medium of that emulsion. And water in oil type emulsions do not conduct electricity. Oils can give fluorescence when observed under UV light, and water does not show any fluorescence. When we observe the emulsion under UV light, if we see fluorescence, it is water in oil type emulsion. Cobalt chloride is soluble in water and it changes its color. Anhydrous cobalt chloride is blue, whereas cobalt chloride aqueous solution is pink in color. So when a cobalt chloride paper is dipped in the emulsion, and if it changes its color from blue to pink, the emulsion is oil in water type. That is, the dispersion medium of the emulsion is water if the cobalt chloride paper changes its color. The process of making an emulsion is called emulsification. Most of the emulsions are unstable, that is, the components won't mix together to form the emulsion, and such emulsions will show the properties very similar to that of lyophobic salts. Emulsions show properties such as Tyndall effect, and the dispersed phase of the emulsions usually carry negative charge, and they can show electrophoresis and can be coagulated using electrolytes. Usually emulsions appear cloudy or white because light is scattered off the interface between the components. And if all the wavelengths are scattered equally, the emulsion will appear as white. In the case of dilute emulsions, those can show slight blue color because when diluted, the low wavelength of light, that is the blue region, is scattered more. Thus dilute emulsions show light blue color. The figure shows the Tyndall effect observed when light is passed through milk, which is an emulsion. A true solution does not show Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect is shown by colloids and suspensions. The breaking up of an emulsion is called demulsification. It can be done by two methods, physically and chemically. Chemical methods include addition of electrolytes, whereas in physical methods, it is done by freezing, boiling, centrifugation, etc. A substance that stabilizes the emulsion is called an emulsifier or emulgent. Emulsifiers work by increasing the kinetic stability of the colloid. Surfactants such as soaps and detergents are examples for emulsifiers. Other examples include lecithin, sodium phosphate, certain proteins, gums, glycerides, etc. Emulsification can work in different ways. It can occur when the interfacial surface tension between the two liquids forming the emulsion is decreased. And the action of soap and detergent is a good example of this type. In some cases, the emulsifier can form a film over one phase of the liquids, any of the liquids forming the emulsion, to form small globules which repel each other and keeps them dispersed in the other liquid medium. And some emulsifiers increases the viscosity of the medium, making the dispersion of the globules more easier. Now let us discuss about surfactants. Surfactants are compounds that lower the interfacial tension between two different phases. Can be between two liquids, between a gas and a liquid, or between a solid and a liquid. And soaps and detergents are good examples of surfactants. And we know that soaps contain a hydrophilic end and a hydrophobic end. The hydrophilic part likes water and the hydrophobic part is water repelling. Based on the charge, surfactants are classified as anionic, cationic and non-ionic. Non-ionic surfactants are polar molecules, but they do not carry any charges when dissolved in aqueous phase. The surfactants which ionize in water to yield surface active anions are called anionic surfactants. The best example is soap. Soap is RCOONA, that is sodium salt of large fatty acids. And in aqueous medium it dissociates as Na plus cation and RCOO minus anion. Similarly, if the surfactant ionize in aqueous phase to give a cationic surface active part, it is called, the surfactant is called cationic surfactant. Examples include quaternary ammonium salts. Soaps and detergents are used for removing dirt from clothes or any other surfaces. If we try to remove the dirt particles, which are usually oil or grease, using plain water, we cannot remove it completely because oil is insoluble in water. But if we dip a dirty cloth in soap water, it can be cleaned. This is because of the surfactant action of the soap. When a dirty cloth is put in water containing soap, the hydrocarbon end, that is the hydrophobic end of the soap, will attach to the dirt particle. And soap beyond a certain concentration forms micelle. So there are many soap molecules around the dirt particle. And the hydrophilic end of the molecule, that is the polar end, will be projected towards the aqueous phase. And when we rub the cloth in soap water, the dirt particles are washed off into the aqueous phase. And thus, oil in water emulsion is formed by the emulsifying action of soap. The oil particles present on the surface of the cloth will get dispersed in water, and finally we get the clean cloth. This is the cleansing action of soap.